Hello, everyone. It's your favorite Chuck E. Cheese liker. I have a Chuck E. Cheese shirt that I'm wearing today that I bought at a Spencer's, which is a very unusual place to be selling and buying a Chuck E. Cheese shirt, but nonetheless, I bought it. I don't care that it was $25. I wanted that shirt, and I'm wearing it today. So, I'd just like to let you guys know that Chuck E. Cheese is in a rough spot. They've been in a rough spot for like a couple of years now. They filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2020 due to the pandemic absolutely bombing their revenue. Could not get any business because no one was in the restaurant. So, here's what I have to say about that. Part of the reason why they basically went bankrupt, or no, literally went bankrupt in 2020 was because beforehand they weren't getting much good business anyway. The reason why they're not getting good business is for multiple different reasons. One of them isn't their fault. That reason is the pizza conspiracy, where people, for some ludicrous reason, thought that Chuck E. Cheese was reusing their pizza slices. They aren't. The reason why people even thought that Chuck E. Cheese was reusing their pizza slices was because of the way that the pizza is cut. If Chuck E. Cheese would have just used a normal pizza cutter like regular people, like regular restaurants, they wouldn't have run into this issue. Not to mention that it took a lot of different people to debunk that the pizza was not, in fact, being recycled. Okay? They had to debunk it with a random employee. They didn't even have, the company officially come out and be like, hey, this is why the pizza looks like that. All they said was, hey, we make our dough, in the house, man. It's totally, it's totally normal, and, yeah. So how about them apples? No. How about not them apples? Another thing, their new establishments suck. Their new character sucks. Even though it's not a new character because he's been around for 10 years. I hate him. I hate every single time I see that little gray rat. I just want to, stomp it and, kick it into a wall until it's just until it looks like a gray splotch of paint or some random kid's drawing on a wall. I'm tired of seeing that little guy everywhere. This little man was way cooler. You know why? Look at his hat. His hat's awesome. You can't see it, but he's wearing fingerless gloves and he's wearing elbow pads. What a safe skateboarder. He was awesome. Now he just looks like a Twitch streamer, like some random little guy. And that's stupid. Get him out of my face immediately. The thing about Chuck E. Cheese that really makes their new establishment suck is that, yes, they don't have animatronic shows anymore, and the main reason why I have a problem with that is because now, when you go in there, they don't have the animatronic shows, so guess what they do? They have a big TV screen that displays the shows instead of just using animatronics. Get those kittens addicted to screens as soon as possible. Make their birthday special by sitting them down in front of a colorful light up stage with a sweaty employee in a fursuit. Yeah, that's awesome. That's totally great. I'd love to have my birthday party at that place. Also, I'd like to note, yes, I am a grown adult talking about Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese allows adults to go in, by themselves all the time. There's no age limit on Chuck E. Cheese going, okay? Because they sell alcohol at Chuck E. Cheese. Bet you didn't know that, huh? Bet you didn't know that. So yeah, the new establishments suck because when they remodel buildings, they're getting rid of the old animatronics and replacing it with a TV screen and a light-up dance floor. Also, the new furniture is stupid and goofy. They just made it look like every other restaurant for no reason. So congratulations, you've successfully made a more bland and boring restaurant. Now you're just some restaurant with like overpriced arcade games and overpriced pizza that is extremely mediocre, by the way. Just saying. Look, I like Chuck E. Cheese. The all the spark comes from its goofy animatronics, the silly games, and winning prizes. Okay? I'm okay with the mediocre restaurant as long as it brings something interesting to the table. Okay? I don't like most fancy restaurants because, one, they're too expensive. If I wanted to spend that much money, I'd just go to Chuck E. Cheese and also play an arcade game. But you see, there are lots of restaurants that have arcades or at least some sort of game in them. Okay? So, like, there's nothing unique about Chuck E. Cheese other than their, like, goofy-looking character that pretty sure no one likes. I'm pretty sure no one likes. If you could name one person that likes this version of the Chuck E. Cheese, nuh-uh. If you could, there's no way. If you could name one person, I would give you. I wouldn't give you anything because you're probably lying. You're probably lying. No one likes that character. Anyway, they get no business because their new establishments suck. Something good about Chuck E. Cheese, though, something good, is their sensory-sensitive Sundays, which basically that's a thing where, like, if you have a kid that's, like, special needs or, like, you know, autistic or something along those lines, you can go in there and, like, the lights will be turned down and the shows will either be quiet or they won't be playing, and the, like, you know, like the like I said, like the arcade sounds and the lights will be turned down. So it's more like autism friendly or those with, again, like sensory sensitivities can just go in there and have a good time. There is a downside to this, however, because in this process, they donated to Autism Speaks, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a organization that treats autism like it's a disease, and a very small amount of their donations actually go towards helping people with autism. So, yeah, they donated around $50,000 to Autism Speaks, which is a major L, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt by assuming that Chuck E. Cheese didn't know that Autism Speaks isn't really a good thing. But, yeah. So, is Chuck E. Cheese redeemable? Yes. Very redeemable. Number one, get rid of that ugly little mouse. Get him out. Number two, if you're gonna take animatronics out of your restaurant, at least give them to me. I will make good use of them, I promise. It's kind of messed up that you're not already sending them to my house, but, you know, what can I say? Or, hear me out, you could put animatronics back into your restaurant, and it would look cool, and it would be silly, and it would be awesome. So, bring the old Chuck back, or if you're gonna make a new one, you should put animatronics back into your restaurants. So, yeah, I really hope that Chuck E. Cheese doesn't shut down, like all of them get shut down forever, because that would honestly make me really sad. But at the same time, skill issue, to be honest. Just get better. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Also, I'd like to say this. I know that little kids are afraid of animatronics. When I was a little kid, I was afraid of that Chuck E. Cheese. But like 10 years later, when I went back to that restaurant, I was like, this guy rocks. I love robots and goofy machines. That's silly and goofy, okay? I don't care that little kids are afraid of animatronics because of Five Nights at Freddy's. I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I used to be afraid of the animatronics, but until I realized that it's actually cool. Okay? So if you're a little kid and you're afraid of animatronics, you got I don't know. Get over it. Skill issue. How about that? How about them apples? All right. That's all I have to say. Goodbye, good night, or don't. How about that?